Hey everybody, this is a autumn wind playoff broadcast between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Southern California Sun. The SoCal Sun are coached by Jim Riley, um, and he actually was able to advance last week with an exciting comeback win over Rick Byron and his Shreveport Steamers. Now, in a strange twist of fate, Rick is coaching a substitute coaching for the Philadelphia Eagles since Dave is out of the country and unavailable. Um, so Rick gets a chance at knocking Jim out after Jim knocked Rick out. So it's an interesting little twist of fate. So let me send out the link in case anybody wants to watch this live. The Dallas Cowboys and the Grand Rapids Rampage are playing a playoff game, just wrapping up a playoff game, from what I understand. Here's a must-run Trevor Siemian after an incomplete pass. He was looking for Stephon Diggs on that hitch on the first one that went incomplete. Now he runs for 9 yards to set up a 3rd and 1. SoCal has a good offense, aside from the quarterback. The quarterback's just okay. It's a testament to Jim's coaching that he's able to advance to the quarterfinals with Trevor Siemian. But his running backs are good. Like Garrett Blunt has got a really solid card. Uh, the pass blocking is okay. The run blocking is okay. 4-3, 4-4, 4-4, 4-3, and 4-2. So maybe a little below average, you might say. Quarterback sneak to Trevor Siemian. The Eagles were keying on Blunt. So let me hurry up and send out this link. That way Dave can watch his team. If he doesn't have his game over and he's in Guam, maybe he's be able to tune in via YouTube or via the broadcast link I just sent out, the Google Hangouts. Square into Jeremy Maclin, defender in zone X or short gain, and Paul Posluszny makes the play. 2nd and 10. So it'll be essential because Dave has a really good team. The Eagles are good average, but they have some really nice pieces. Akeem Hicks, Benny Logan, Carlos Dansby on the line. They've got 5s at linebacker, which in this set is a luxury. KJ Wright, Paul Posluszny, and Sean Lee. Off tackle right to Kenyon Drake. That's a 9-yard pickup. So there's another one of Jim's weapons. He's got Garrett Blunt. He's got Kenyon Drake. He's got good receivers in Stephon Diggs, Jason Witten, and Jeremy Maclin. Diggs is the best of that bunch, but he needs to outscore the Eagles. The Eagles have a really solid offense. I don't know if I'll be able to look at it here. View computer manager home. Yeah, so he's got Kirk Cousins, Alvin Kamara, Alfred Morris, just stacked full of weapons. Hunter Henry, Will Fuller, J.J. Nelson's okay. Torrey Smith. So he's got better pass blocking, better run blocking. He's got better defenders because he's got 5s everywhere. 3rd and 1 here. So we just saw him convert 3rd and 1 with a sneak to Siemian. Will he mix it up and go to Blunt? It's a quick pass or a quick slant to Jason Witten. It's going to need to get a good number on Siemian's card. Like I said, Siemian's the best quarterback, and that is the opposite of a good number, as he's picked. It's a look-in pass, so there's not as many chances of running it back for a touchdown, but that gives the Eagles the football in great territory there at the SoCal Sun 33. Three games as a steamer, and I couldn't pick Siemian. Not once. This one came on Siemian's own card. Can't get out of his own way every time. That's the problem. If you look at this is a guest right 2 through 6, 11, and 12 in the modern NFL is not good. And you saw Siemian have straight picks on long pass and short pass as well on the edges. So to go along with the splits. So it's 1st and 10 at the 33. Oh man, the other game is going into overtime. Let me ask Michael if he can share out the link to that one. I think we have it on YouTube. Okay, sorry. They're left to Kyle Juszczyk, and look at that. Kirk Cousins is not 2 through 6, 11, and 12. He's 2 through 4 and 12, guessed right. But that would have been a huge swing if he would have been able to get a pick there, guessed right. So 2nd and 10. Sorry for the interruption in the play-by-play. Apparently the Sun, right through the defender's head, not the Sun, the Cowboys and the Rampage went into overtime or going to overtime. And Tom wants to jump on that broadcast with Michael Reeves calling the game. So I'm like the backup broadcasting team. I get the less exciting of the two matchups. So don't say that to the participants here. The Sun and the Eagles, I'm sure, are excited to be here. This is a quarterfinal game. Whoever wins this one advances to the semifinals. But you can't beat an overtime playoff game. Let's face it. So let's see what happens. Maybe this one will go into overtime. Maybe this one will be just exciting. Button hook to Alvin Kamara. It's a touchdown for the Eagles. I have a feeling this is going to be a blowout, though. Sorry, Jim. No offense intended. But if you saw the game against, I watched it. I didn't broadcast it, but I saw the tail end of the game between the Sun and the Steamer, and Jim hit like the 70 or 60-yard flat pass, empty zone looking for a game-tying touchdown to send that one to overtime, and then won it in overtime. But I think Jim's team, I would say they're probably pretty equal between the two teams, but he was lucky to win that game, being down so far with no timeouts left and winning on that last play of the game. I got to exit. We have that strat bug that if you stay connected as a spectator, you will not be able to, it'll hang up. Oh, I got to put the number back in. All right, so the Sun are down 7-0. Pitch out right to Kenyon Drake. He picks up 5, guessed wrong. So Jim's going to need to hit with some of those big chunk numbers, plus 31, long game. Blunt's got a couple of those big numbers, but he's got to stay up with the Eagles. Otherwise, it's going to turn into an ugly game, like a 31-13, 31-10 type game, because this Eagles team can score. So Jim's best hope for winning this one would be like a 35-28 type game. Inside run to Blunt. A run call is going to lose a yard. That puts him in contain. Nice call there by Rick. To see, Blunt's got those big numbers too on the edges, 68, 21, and the long gain. 3rd and 6. 9:18 to go in the quarter. Just getting started here, folks. Screen right to Drake. And he gets 7. That's a nice third down pickup. It's harder in this rule set to pick up third downs because there's no dump off. So you got to kind of do it the old-fashioned way, the E.F. Hutton way. You got to earn it. Simeon, that was his first completed pass to his own teammates. Fly to Stephon Diggs. Now that's living dangerously. He's got the interception split on 10, 2 through 10, and a straight pick on 11. One of the rare cases where there's actually more chance for a pick than there is for a completion. But you got to do that even with the worst of quarterbacks because you don't want to give up that long pass on. Let Rick do as he will with that free safety. It's a 3-yard pickup to Jason Witten, who's got a lot of completions, but not a lot of yardage on that card. Another third and medium, 3rd and 7. Again, Simeon's not that great on the short pass right. He's not going to get any dump off help. He needs 5 or 6. Pitch to Stephon Diggs being double covered, and that'll force a punt. So it's starting off exactly the way the Eagles wanted. There is the white die 6 play rule in play, and that would have been a short game because it was a white die 6, but he had been double covering, so there's 2 men in zone. Nice call there by Rick. I told you, no Diggs look-ins will be allowed. Bread and butter of the Sun offense, apparently. Well, at least it was on that one amazing play to send the game into overtime. $57-yard punt, and Rick's going to let that bounce. No, he's not. See, this is the thing, is that there's something off in the spectating, because I bet you that one was caught in the end zone. It looked on my screen that it was about the 6-yard line or 4-yard line, but there's something off in the calculations, and that might be the reason for the bug where it crashes on kickoffs. May have some discrepancy between what you see on the viewer screen. Flare right to Kyle Juszczyk. Defender -3 or +4, he gains 4. As Jim's defense is stacked with 7s. So at least he didn't move him and leave the zone abandoned, and that would have been a long game. Let's look at Kamara's card. Lots of short gains. Button hook, another interception split. Oh man, that could have been a huge play. Yes, I shouldn't really say, oh, this looks like a blowout. It might look like a blowout on paper, but the little things on, in Strat, turnovers, big plays, that kind of stuff, that will catch up to you in a hurry if you fall prey to that. 3rd and 6. So this is a big down for Jim here. He wants to stop it.
We'll move on. With an overtime victory, 16-13.
Hey, did you? Are you talking to someone?
Yeah, what's up? You can talk.
You want to see this?
Sure.
It's too bad that these guys have to die.
Who is this, Genghis Khan?
No, these are the Gold Turks.
6-yard pickup for a first down there.
They conquered pretty much all that in like 3 years.
Wow.
Are you sure my horse? What?
I have a lot of ideas for thinking.
Okay.
Quick out left to Henry Hunter. That picks at 8. So that's a lot. That's what I was talking about. There's a lot of talent there. It's going to be a big test for Jim.
Oh, okay, strawberry.
Cool, bud. So are these guys all the Turkish leaders? Is that what this is?
Yeah, these were Turks. They were a middle class of people who made swords and were breeding stuff, cattle. And they took over their adversaries.
Nice. So another first down there as the offensive center doesn't make the block, but he gets enough for a first down. Picks up just 2, but that's enough to move the chains as it was 2nd and 2. Quick out left to Hunter Henry. There's a interception split and another miss. So we're seeing a lot of 11 rolls tonight. 3 on the defensive cards. A lot of pick chances, but so far the Eagles have been able to avoid them while the Sun have not.
Do you think you could solve 100 by 100?
No. Well, I would need to. No. 2nd and 10 at their own 40. Rick says 3 times he's avoided the interception split. That's a short gain on Kamara's card and run that picks up 10. The strength of Jim's defense is the secondary and the defensive line. Big gaping hole in the middle with 008 Chris McCabe, 444 Corey Toomer. Little correct double team there by Jim. That's a nice job. And then we got 045 Lorenzo Alexander. He'll be good next year. He'll got good PFF ratings. His defensive line, Trey Flowers, Grady Jarrett, and Aaron Donald, along with another strong guy that's not in there right now. 3-2-6 on 2nd down. Oh, interesting strategy. If you're faced with that, you just got to run. Run with Kamara. He'll be guessed wrong. And you can do a draw to get 0 men in zone on a off tackle or line buck. Let's see how Rick responds. And if you're the defense, you're just hoping if he does run it, pitch out left to Kamara. So he goes out there. Oh, it's a fumble. It looks like a snap fumble. Kirk Cousins can't handle the exchange smoothly. And that one's fallen on by Hunter Henry. Johnny on the spot. So, but that sets up a 3rd and 13. So one good call and one good bounce there. That's one thing Rick says he never had to worry about with Keenum was the snap fumble. Got Nathan here in the house. Nathan, feel free to jump on if you want. I'm gonna have to put my kids to bed at some point, and we have a tradition. We usually watch one little episode. Lately, our show has been The Tick on Amazon Prime. We have like 2 episodes left, so I'm not sure how long we can keep this going and still watch an episode. May have to have somebody take over for 20 minutes. Maybe Nathan, you can take it. That won't be till 8:40, 9 o'clock. Maybe we'll be done by then. Maybe they'll play quick. First quarter. Got 3 more to go. Curl to Will Fuller. A couple of people coming on the pass rush, but it's a 13-yard pickup on 3rd and 13. That's a chain play. Just go out to the chain and turn around. And Cousins drills it in there. There was a 26% chance of a sack. It was a random 88. First and 10 at the 40. Screen right against the run call. It's going to pick up 5 as the linebacker in zone's a 0. Jim stuck 2 in the look-in zone. You know, you got a team like this with all those holes, it's going to be difficult to defend it. Alfred Morris into the game. He's got a really strong off tackle card. And he has a plus 70 on a line buck on one of the edges. Fly to Will Fuller. Long game because nobody was in the zone. Kamara was getting doubled, or Juszczyk was getting doubled. And that's another touchdown for the Eagles. It's now 14-0. And what did I say you didn't want to do? You didn't want to fall behind against this Eagles team.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Dennis.
1:12 to go in the first quarter. We're getting close to being a must-score drive here by SoCal. I think, you know, when you're coaching a team that's not your team, maybe there's a little less pressure. I feel like you can air it out a little bit more. The bomb is certainly within Kirk Cousins' skill set. And this is like a strong Eagles team. Don't really see many weaknesses on their team. Kick is up and good, and you see that Brandon McManus does not miss on extra points. From what I understand, the Dallas Cowboys were able to beat the Rampage in overtime, so the winner of this game will face the Cowboys in the semifinals.
Hey, Dennis, how you doing, buddy?
Cool. My screen is changing. I'm gonna have to present my screen to everyone. I think I have the noise down.
Nathan just tried to send a note to you, period. He just said something, period. I did too. I don't know if you can hear us.
I can hear you now. I have my volume down. I'm gonna mute you, Michael, unless you're gonna jump in with some play-by-play call.
Sure, I can pick up here a little bit. Nathan, are you there?
I think Nathan's on mute. So, what
Yeah,
did
he
you
tried
need?
to say something here just a moment ago. I heard him.
Oh yeah, he was just telling me that I got to lock the screen because
Okay.
I didn't. I know I sent out the link to share it, but I forgot to lock my screens to present to everyone. So
Mhm.
the play-by-play was if you were sharing your screen, then when you talked, it would still show the game. But right now, when you talk, it was going on your face. Kept
No, we
zooming in.
don't want that.
Oh, it's all right. It's just you're not seeing the action. So
Yeah.
So tell me, did the Cowboys win in overtime? I think I saw that.
They did. They did. I'll tell you a little funny story about it actually in a minute. But yeah, Dallas did win in overtime, 16-13. Grand Rapids got the kick at overtime, but Dallas held them to a 3-and-out. Mark called a great defensive game and took over at midfield and got him a couple first downs, and they put in a 43-yard field goal to win it. So they'll be headed off to see. There'll be a battle at Texas, I guess, Houston and Dallas for the right to play in the Super Bowl.
No, incorrect. Dallas will play the winner of this game.
Well, did I have that wrong?
You do have that wrong. The winner, the Houston will play the winner of the Chargers and Rams game. St. Louis Rams against the Los Angeles Chargers.
Oh, you know what? We'll just correct it in post. It's no big deal.
Sounds good. So 3rd and 1 here. Like I was saying, the talent on these two squads is pretty disparate. The Eagles have a team with not very many holes, while the Sun have quite a few holes. So I had mentioned earlier that really what needs to be done is the Sun's going to have to outscore them, but they just they can't move the ball. They get to close to midfield or whatever, and they have to punt. So this could really easily turn into a blowout. One more score here.
Yeah.
By the Eagles, this could be all over.
That's easier said than done. I mean, Eagles have a pretty prolific offense here. Nice season for the Sun, though. It was a nice turnaround. That's they didn't make the playoffs last year, so this is another club that's a new entry to the playoffs. The Eagles, this is their 2nd consecutive year, but this is a strong 14-2 club.
Yes, they were, I think, the number 1 seed, right?
They were. That's exactly right.
Not to say this is over yet, because like I was saying too, some turnovers. Well, there's a 31-yard return by Will Fuller. So that's really what the Southern California Sun, to have any chance in this game, they need some help. They need, we've seen 3 times now a guest right pass has landed on an interception split, either on the D cards or on the Cousins card, but it just keeps missing.
Yeah.
So the Sun are not getting the breaks that they need to stay in this game.
That's what it's going to take. Is this James Riley by chance?
Yeah, Jim Riley. Yep, James.
Yeah. Yep.
So he's got him on the ropes here. Pitch out left to Kamara. Yes, strong. Nobody in the zone is going to pick up 5. So even if he just gets a field goal here, that's still a 3-score game. And Rick's got the tools. Really, this is Dave Szymanski's team, but Rick's filling in.
Yep.
And if I had to have a coach fill in for me, Rick would be definitely on one of the top 5 of my list to pick from, because he's a really good coach.
Yeah. Yeah. My phone didn't ring, so yeah. So.
Well, I think that Rick and Dave are close friends too.
I'm just good grief. I would go through the Rolodex of coaches. I'd get to about 20 before it'd get to me. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's necessarily true, but the point is, it's a fun team to coach. It has everything you need it has everything you'd want in a championship team. There's no.
Did you play them this year by chance?
Nope. We were in different conferences, so we didn't match up. That's one of the issues, not issues, but with a 30-team league, and when you play the guys in your division twice a year, that really doesn't leave a lot of cross-conference matchups to be had. So you might have going through a season and you might avoid a guy. You might avoid him for 2 or 3 years and not play him just because of the way the things get laid out.
I did play him twice. He is in my division, and I think he beat me by maybe 3 touchdowns in one of the games. But one of the opening games that I had, I played him in the first quarter, and he beat me with 1 second to play on a field goal.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and I caught every break imaginable that game. Cousins was so bad. Cousins was so bad in that game, threw picks, everything.
Yep. So 1st and 10 now, Eagles off tackle. It's going to pick up 9 since the defensive tackle is a 4, and that sets up 2nd and 1 at the 9. So this looks like another touchdown drive in the making. And when you have a team with so many holes, I mean, Jim does have a couple strong pieces here. He's got good secondary guys. He's got Aaron Donald. He's got Grady Jarrett, but he wasn't able to surround him. He probably didn't think this was really a championship team, so he didn't go out to fill in the holes, so to speak. And to be honest, it's tough when there's 30 teams in the league. Everybody needs linebackers, and nobody's whoever's trading him is going to want a high price. So there you go, 3rd and 2 at the 10 now. After that loss of 1, Jim wanted to have no gain instead because now the flat pass is back in play. Although Rick goes to a full house, so he's going to either throw short or ram it in there. You don't want to throw a flat pass against when you're in full house formation because there'll be 2 men in zone. So look for Jim to respond either with a short yardage defense or to double team who he thinks he's going to go to. He goes short yardage, and there's the no gain. So he did hold him to a field goal chance. Brandon McManus comes in, and he'll knock it through. 2 through 9 and 12. So that's good on an 8. And let's see if probably going to have to disconnect here. Oh, no. The kick is in play, so I don't have to disconnect. So that's good.
Thank goodness.
So that goes out to the 19.
So this is a lot to put on Trevor Siemian, but it's quite an accomplishment to crank 10 wins out of a club, with him at quarterback.
It is, but you'd think that if you were really thinking you would advance to the quarterfinals, you would have made a trade to get a different quarterback, don't you think? I mean, it's hard to find, even a 1-year quarterback is hard to find in the 30-team league, but that's tough to win with that kind of quarterback card. Crossing patterns with Jeremy Macklin, and especially in this rule set. Like on the long pass, there's more chances for a pick than there is a completion. I'm sure you can speak to that since you played with a bad card this year and autumn win, right? Who's your quarterback?
Bryce Petty.
Yeah. So Bryce Petty and Trevor Siemian are in the same Kappa club. Quick slant to Jason Witten. That picks up 6. That'll set up 3rd and 4. So at least he won't be in contain.
Yeah, he'll certainly be in the market for somebody in the off season. I think he's got enough of a team that if he makes a deal for somebody, because now with the record that he did, he's not going to have a top 10 pick. He'll be in the 20 range, so he won't be able to get in on any of the rookie quarterbacks this year. Or, well, I mean, I guess he could if it maybe he looks like the middle, maybe like a Rosen or somebody like that.
You never know how the draft goes. Usually those guys are going by pick 10.
So early.
Another incompletion on 3rd down and another punt. Let's take a look at the ball possession chart. So the Sun have gone interception, punt, 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 while the Eagles have gone touchdown, touchdown, field goal. They have that long punt return that gave them a short field. So Michael, are you watching on your tablet or can you watch while you're calling the game?
I'm on the computer, basically.
Okay, so can you share your screen?
Can I just maintain your screen and just continue to call the game as I'm watching your screen? Oh, I can't because if the game freezes. Oh no.
Right, that won't work.
Oh, shoot.
So you don't need the pre-file. If you've restored the league file, you can just use the watch game function without loading the pre because you have the league file loaded.
That's right. That's actually right. Yeah.
Just you don't have to if you share your screen, I'll show you what to do. But I need you to share your screen, and then I'll have you present and take over the play-by-play when I get my kids when it's time for me to put my kids to bed. And we usually like I was saying, we watch a we watch a show before we go to sleep. So
Mhm.
I'll be gone for like 20 minutes at least, probably like half an hour more likely.
Okay. I've got my game up here.
Okay, quick into Kyle Juszczyk. I'll probably have you take over at halftime.
Sure.
See what happens.
Okay. We'll just hide this for a little bit.
It's okay to present it because I'm still presenting my screen, so you can do what you need to do.
Okay.
But this one's gonna be a blowout unless we can get something good happening for Jim, because right now everything's coming up Eagles. I said if it gets out of hand, it's gonna be like a 31-10 type game.
Right.
It's a short game. You just keep throwing at those zeros and fours. It's a run call right there. Quick out left to Hunter Henry. And Lorenzo Alexander, 0 against the White Die 5. Cousins, 11 of 15 for 123, 2 touchdowns. So what happened at the end of that game? Because I was watching it a little bit. I saw a 75-yard run by Murray.
Oh, okay. Yeah. This is where it gets kind of okay. So you did see that. So it didn't count. Like
It crashed.
I guess so. But so now it's like I've got LePage basically. I'm basically sending him a note and say, hey, what's going on? What happened? Did this thing freeze? But I didn't want to say, what about that 75-yard gain? I didn't want to make him think that, hey, you just missed out on a 75-yard gain. I said, what about that gain? And he said, yeah, it was 6 yards. And so I was like, just shut up. Don't say anything. Somebody
6
else.
yards.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing, is that there's something buggy with the game this year. Like you see kicks that like look like they're going to the 4-yard line and they're actually in the end zone.
Yep.
Something.
Oh, that happened too. That, you know what? There was a punt that landed at the 3, and for whatever reason, it looked like Grand Rapids took the kick. And I'm like, what are you doing? And then the next thing you know, the ball's at the 20. I was like, what happened there?
So he was really in the end zone. So
yeah.
So I don't get it because it showed 75 yards on my screen and then it crashed. But it must have been like, did Grand Rapids really call run? So it was guessed right 6 yards, or what? Or was it on the D card? It showed on the offensive cards on ours and D card.
Right. Yeah, it was on his card 75, and so I'm like waiting for this animation, and I'm like, God, he's going to be freaking out when he sees it. He's got to be going crazy, and then waiting, crickets, nothing. And so I texted him. I said, did the game crash? And of course, I asked him, what about that gain? I was like, oh, geez, don't say 75-yard gain. He said, no, it was 6 yards. So, actually, it was like a full-on crash, basically. So we had to wait for, the other guy, Grand Rapids coach.
30-yard touchdown. That's Dave Malt.
Dave. Okay, so Dave has to restart, so we got to wait for that. It finally gets on, and it's like, not only did he not get the 6-yard gain, nothing happened. It was still 2nd and 21, and on top of that, Grand Rapids had called a timeout because there was a sack on the play. It was 2nd down and 21, so he didn't have to use a timeout. So I'm thinking, oh my gosh, if Dallas loses as a result of this, not only did they lose a timeout, but this was a 75-yard run that basically flipped the field. They would have just had to take 3 knees, kick the field goal, and this game's pretty much over.
Right.
Not that I'm like rooting for either one of these two teams, but I'm like, boy, that would be a crap. Once he sees that video, he's not going to believe it. If he sees it, I imagine he probably will, but he's going to see that 75 and wonder what happened.
We'll have to ask him what it showed on his screen, because it showed 75 on my screen, 75 on your screen. So all the guys who are watching as spectators, interesting here, it didn't crash on a touchback. I wonder if it only crashes on the -8, -9 when you take a move.
Okay, that's another theory that I've come up with, actually. I believe that is the case. If it's a 9, yes. But also, too, I've seen a punt crash if it goes into the end zone.
Man, so buggy.
Yeah, right. And, we'll get it next year. Thanks.
Well, it's good that Mark won, because then that would be a controversy. But it sounds like he didn't see a 75-yard gain on his screen.
And he never will.
Well, no, he'll see it when he watches the broadcast.
Well, you can trim that stuff out. Of course he'll listen to this broadcast and know.
Why would you? It's what happened. We need to figure this stuff out. Let's look at DeMarco Murray's card. I wonder if it had
to be against wrong. It was a 2 that he rolled.
Yeah. So yes, you're right. So Dave must have called run. So it was a guessed right run of 6 yards. But for us, the call was transmitted
I
as guess
see.
wrong.
I
So he
see.
saw 75, even though it was really just a 6-yard gain. So there really is no controversy, except
Yeah.
for the fact that Strat-O-Matic's programming is a little wonky.
Yeah. And again, the play disappeared. But boy, oh, you know what was really cool about it? You know, Grand Rapids now with all three of their timeouts instead, and he's got the ball basically now at his 14. It's second down and 21. Mark came out throwing. He came out throwing, and on a third down, he hit a 30-yard bomb. He picked on a 4 that Grand Rapids had. They had a couple 4s, and I think it was a tight end. Maybe hit Julius Thomas for a 30-yard pickup, or maybe it was, I can't remember who it was. It was one of the tight ends, basically. And while that got him to midfield, it really was more about, okay, now I know I can get into at least the overtime, and there's no way I can lose this now. So he had a couple of shots at it to try to get it close. He couldn't do it, but at the very least, he kept the ball away from Grand Rapids and didn't give them the chance to have one more possession before the overtime. And then on the next, he just snuffed him out in 3 plays. Punt to the 50, a couple first downs, 43-yard field goal, bada bing.
Yeah, it was really frustrating watching Dave coach that team because Garoppolo's strongest column is the short pass column, but all he would do was throw flat passes.
Yeah.
Flat. Like you have the strength of your quarterback is throwing short, and he never throws short. I mean, at least not, especially in those like 3rd and 7s, where even if he would hit a flat pass, it's probably going to be only a 5 or 6 yard gain. You know,
Well, if you heard, I think after 20 passes, Garoppolo had a grand total like 90 yards. And then he got a big chunk play, long pass to Michael Thomas. But yeah, just a lot of dinks and dunks.
yeah, but you can't tell somebody else how to coach their team.
Heck no. Grand Rapids took me to the woodshed twice this year. So, yeah, I mean, not even close. Yeah, it's a good team. But again, he'll have to Garoppolo wouldn't have gotten 100 attempts this year, would he?
What difference does that make in the playoffs? I don't think it matters.
Well, no. I mean, for next year.
Oh no, I think he's like 90 something, 95 or something like that. Hey, there's a first down. Oh, that's the Eagles again. Finally, the center moving the ball. Nope, still the Eagles. Cousins is great flat, and he's facing a bunch of zeros and 4 linebackers. So I can understand why he's throwing flat so much. But Dave's had 2. Not Dave. Rick's had 2 bombs. Gap drive, so he'll still air it out when he has a chance. So right now it's all Eagles. Let's look at the box score. 2 first downs by the Sun, 14 by the Eagles. There's another interception split. Oh, the poor Sun. They can't hit one of those numbers.
Yep.
2 minutes to go. So that's 4 of those, Jim says. It's 4 times that there's been either 2 on the Cousins card, guessed right, on a flat, and 2 on the defensive card. I mean, it's not a great maybe 38% or 40%, something like that.
Yeah, but you're bound to hit on them. I mean,
you think.
And those are the breaks you need.
Yep. But at this point, would that really make a huge difference? It's still a wipeout right now. If you'd asked Jim what he thought about his team's execution, I think he'd be in favor of it at this point.
He's better on bone, right? That's nice.
Hey, 12-yard run, another first down by the Eagles. And they get out of bounds. So, all right. So I'm about ready to let you take over after when we get to half.
All right. I've got my. It says I'm screen sharing, supposedly.
Okay. Let me look at your screen. See how that looks. Yep, looks good. So I'm going to present yours to everyone.
So I need to get into the game and log in, I guess, here.
Oh, okay. Maybe we don't want to do that then. Present mine. You tell me when you're ready. 6-yard pickup there on 1st and 10.
You got a number for me?
The game ID?
Yeah.
Let me see. We got 14520.
And glorious. There we are. And glorious HD.
Cool. Second and 4 here.
What's the other playoff game here I'm missing? Let's see.
Well, in the other game will be on Sunday morning. That's the SoCal Sun. I mean, not SoCal Sun. That will be the San Diego, Los Angeles Chargers and St. Louis Rams. So Gary and Paul, who are also close friends.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Let's see. So that one's noon, basically Eastern time, 9 your guys' time.
Yeah. I will not be able to call that one. Hopefully you can jump in.
Yeah, I should be home from church by then.
Sounds good. And speaking of church, Jim's going to need a miracle here of biblical proportions.
Wow. You brought your A material.
4th and 1 now. You're up 24-0 in a playoff game. It's 4th and 1. You're at your opponent's 40. Do you go for it? Or do
you definitely go for it here.
Yeah, I agree. And so does Rick.
You know, 3 of us, the 3 Stooges, we think alike.
Well, you got to just put the pressure on. Got to put the pressure on.
And if I'm Jim, I want this. Yeah, by all means, you want him to go for it.
Yeah, if you get the right call here.
Right, exactly.
Flair left to Juszczyk, and it's a 4-yard pickup. If he just would have called pass, that would have been a -2, and it would have been Sun ball. But nothing's going Jim's way tonight.
Hey, you know what? And that's a question I wanted to ask. Grand Rapids defense, I assume they have excellent run defense, and maybe it was a good pass defense. I didn't have the spreadsheet in front of me.
Yeah, excellent good for the Rampage and excellent average for the Cowboys.
So when the draft cards come out, so obviously you know what your run cards are going to look like, and you know what your pass cards are going to look like. But how does that? Do they have like separate, like the end run card? Is that excellent? They have such a thing as an excellent end run card, and the flat pass card would be like good, because that flat pass card looked like almost unbeatable. It just seemed like better than a good card.
Yeah, they're all this. You have an excellent pass, a good pass, or an average pass, and that covers all 3 levels: flat, short, and long.
Okay.
They don't break them up by anything more than that.
Okay.
And the run card is this. It's an excellent run card against, it's the same card, but it has 3 columns: end run, line book, and off tackle. But it's not like you can have an excellent end run column and an average off tackle column. They don't get that granular. It's a just by run and pass. And when you're a league manager, like here, I don't know if you can see my screen. When you're a league manager, when you go to team, manage team, and then there's a special tab here. This is where you assign the defense. So those are the combinations. You can have, for average run, you can have average run, average pass, average run, excellent pass, average run, good, average run, poor pass. So you have all the combinations of each one, but it's not broken down by column at all.
So, but we're playing with draft cards, right? Does the game make draft cards, or do they select a team as far as like what we think is like an average defense?
No, the draft cards come in the game each year, and you can when you're in here managing the team, you can select like a certain team, but we don't play with that. We don't play with the 2017 Miami team, with 2017 Rams team. We play with the draft cards.
Okay, they do.
So there's 3-4 average, 3-4 excellent, 3-4 good.
Okay, that's cool. I didn't know that. I thought we played with like team defensive cards that were average good or whatever.
No, those are cards designed specifically for draft leaders.
And for the online game, I bet they probably don't make those for card and dice, I wouldn't think. Or maybe they do.
No, they don't, but you can open the game and, put it in an Excel template to use in the card and dice game if you wanted to. They don't sell them like that.
It kind of reminds me of, baseball. Your pitcher hitting card 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, just that generic sort of thing. So I guess that's what they do for football, but just for the online game. I honestly didn't know.
Yeah, NFL Ed made those cards and put them into the game specifically for draft leaguers. Now, not everybody uses them. There are some leagues you could do that if you wanted to, like the IFL has, it's a retro league. They drafted certain teams' defensive cards, so you get the Pittsburgh Steelers defensive cards each year. So when they play the 72 season, you get the 72 Steelers stock cards.
Mm-hmm.
So you can certainly do that. And that would be a twist, even in a league like Battle Royale or whatever. We could add that as an option, but
Right.
most leagues don't. Most leagues use the generic defensive cards. They're called.
Well, what about like the retro seasons that we play, the sprint seasons?
I still assign the generic D cards based on your ratings of your players,
Okay.
just like they do in Autumn Win.
Okay.
So I've never used the stock league cards because it doesn't make sense to me because those stock league cards are designed to work in conjunction with this particular stock team.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I can see how you may want to have that in a game, but that's just not the way that I typically run draft leagues. Draft leagues, we use the draft league cards.
No, and I understand. I never knew there was such a thing as draft league. I know I'm embarrassed to say that, but I just didn't know there were draft league cards. So basically, Strat takes out.
Where did you think all those things came from? Like all the readings on the cards when you play with the card image on, right?
I don't know, the Easter Bunny. I'm not sure who brought them to us, but
No, but when you play a stock team, if you fire up a game and you play a stock team, when you look at the team notebook, it'll tell you what card it is. Like, let me see. I'll open my my stock league. Let's do the 1990 SSFRL. If you look at this team, this 1990 Seattle Seahawks, when you go to manage the team manage, and you go to the special tab, that's the defense you have. You have the 1990 Seattle defense. So, and then when you look at the cards under notebook, team notebook, this is what their cards look like. I guess I can kind of see what you're talking about though, because it's not that much different than the draft league defensive cards. There's nothing on here that says 1990 Seattle. It just has a bunch of readings. But if you notice, when we play our games like in Autumn Win and stuff, the readings are always the same. Oh my goodness, wait a minute. We just missed a touchdown by Trevor Simeon. He rolled a 3 with 8 seconds to go and hit Stephon Diggs for a 69-yard touchdown. Is this another, what do you call that? A Minnesota miracle?
maybe.
The old Minnesota quarterback's on the other squad. Stephon Diggs was part of that. So I can just picture him now sticking his chin out. Jim said, I don't believe it. Needed a 3 and then a 2 or 12. That's amazing.
Does he get the kick?
No, the Eagles will get the kick to start the third quarter. So here we can figure that out on a calculator. So he needed a 3 out of 72. So 3 divided by 72, and then we're gonna save that. Put that in memory. How do I do that here? Put that in memory. Then we'll do a clear, and then after that he needed a 2 or 12. So that's 2 out of 72. And then we're going to multiply that by our saved value. And so he had a 0.0011 chance of that hit.
Oh my gosh.
Very good. Nice combo to get that. We got
That's great, Dennis. But what are the odds that that Rick guides Dave's team to the championship?
Well, it depends. When will he be back from his vacation?
He may want to extend it.
Yeah, he may want to. He may just be watching. He may actually say he's in Guam, quote unquote, but actually he's sitting in his house watching these games on video and checking out how Rick's doing. Yes, sir.
Guam is the name of the chair that Rick sits next to on his computer.
Exactly. Okay, I need one of you guys to take over. Who wants to take over the play-by-play and present their screen while I go put the kids to bed?
Tom Cook would like to do that, I bet you.
Tom, do you have the game up? Can I present your screen? Can you share your screen?
You're incorrect that I would like to do it. Are these guys playing at a pretty fast pace?
Pretty good.
I came on to make a a harmless joke, and I'm being pressed into duty here. They're playing at a quick pace.
Well, they did 45 minutes for the first half. So
Are they playing at a Rick Byron's pace or at a Tom Cook pace? I don't want a Tom Cook pace. No one wants that.
No, it's a Jim Riley. It's a Jim Riley pace. So in between Cook and
so it's in the middle. Hold on a second. But he's losing. Jim gets mad when he loses. He starts playing quickly. Hold on.
Okay.
What's the game ID?
It is 14520. Inside run to Kamara, and that forces a punt. So exactly what Jim needed, a miracle touchdown at the end of the half with 8 seconds to go. He got the Minnesota Miracle. Now he gets a 3 and out, gets the ball back, and it's time for some more Trevor Siemian magic. Half man, half Siemian. He's a beast, that guy. He's in a hairy situation.
Yeah. Get your paws off me.
There you go. This is nuts. Come on.
I'd say more it's bananas, but that's me.
Okay, bananas is better. Yes, I was thinking of coconuts, but coconuts. It's like there's no apes in Hawaii.
No, not that we know of.
Yeah.
Save us, Tom. Save us.
Let me know when you're ready to take over. Or we can just send it to you, and you can take over, Michael, if you want. I don't know if Tom's actually. Are you putting it together, Tom?
Shouldn't Rick have to coach in the manner that Dave would coach? That's the thing. What would Dave call here? Then he has to call that play. But yeah, you could make me present my screen. I'll have to remember not to put up anything unsuitable.
All right. Well, right
now you're going to come back because I get the sneaking suspicion you're going to abandon me and be like, "Oh, Tom's calling the game. Michael's there. It's fine."
Well, we're watching. Me and my two youngest are watching The Tick on Amazon Prime.
I'm not too.
We have 2 episodes to go.
I'm too.
They're 20 minutes each.
All right, go ahead. All right, so I'm taking over. Is that what's going on?
Yeah, if you want, but I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, I'll take over. Give me a brief summary of what's going on.
So it was all Eagles early. All Eagles. If you look at the ball possessions, the Eagles went touchdown, touchdown, field goal, touchdown. Then at the end of the half, they missed the field goal that gave the SoCal Sun the ball with like 30 seconds left. They didn't go too far, but they did with 8 seconds left throw a bomb and connect it for a touchdown. So their first half possessions were interception, punt, and then that touchdown.
All right, I'll take over. And you'll be here with me, huh, Michael?
Oh yeah, I'm right here.
All right, so I'm taking over for Dennis Crowley. It is 3rd and 12. You guys can hear me okay, right?
Sure. Yeah, but you're not sharing your screen. You got to share your screen so I can present it.
Well, what if I refuse to share my screen?
How about Michael? You share your screen because
I'm sharing the screen. I'm sharing the screen. Jeez.
No, I'm just saying because I don't mind.
I'm now sharing my. Okay. I'm now sharing my screen. Am I good?
You're perfect.
Yep.
All right, we got 3rd and 12 for Southern California. Jim Riley at his own 48, trailing 24-7. Incomplete pass from Trevor Siemian. He had the short pass 2, clean interception. So Jim will probably punt it here. Siemian 7 of 18, 99 yards. It's very realistic. And it is Rick Byron's substitute coaching for Dave the Duke, who was maxing and relaxing out in Guam.
Allegedly.
Now, do we know if did we see Dave's limo head to the airport? Does Southern California have any intel? Were they watching the Duke's household, making sure that was happening? A 1st and 10 for Rick Byron, substitute coaching at his own 11-yard line. I just came on to say hello, and now I'm calling the game. Flat pass right, Coach Juszczyk with a 0 there. Linebacker zone 1 and +5. That's a 5-yard pickup, 2nd and 5. Rick likes to throw the flats. He likes to throw a bomb. 19 of 27, 202, 3 touchdowns for Kirk Cousins. That's a hell of a game, especially when you're playing with no dump off. And you're playing against a 4-3 good defense that has all 5s and a 6 in the secondary. 2nd and 5 for Philly Alfred Morris is in the backfield. Flat pass left coverage. There's a 2-man there. Receiver gets right -2. And Jim's going to need some results like that. Force a 3 and out, get the ball back, and get a score. So to feel like he's really back in this game. Cousins 20 of 28, going the wrong way with the yardage on that one. Very hard to put numbers like that in a playoff game against a good pass defense in a non-dump off double counting league. 3 wide, 1 halfback. Marcus leads the 3rd wide, defended by a 4. Will follow JJ Nelson. I played both of these teams in the regular season. Are there wideouts? Hunter Henry, the tight end, covered by a 6. 0-4-0 linebackers. There is a wide die 6, so I think Rick will hit the flat pass left to Hunter Henry. There it is. Defender -3 or +4. That's a 6 defender. Adrian Amos of the NFL Chicago Bears -3 to Henry. His Cousins had 202 when I started the broadcast. Now he's down to 197. 4th and 10 for the Eagles, punting at their own 11. 8:42 to go. This will be a big possession upcoming for the Sun as they try to get back in this. This is a divisional round game, right, Michael?
That's correct. You are correct, sir.
Matt Bosher on for the punt. It's a 47-yarder. They'll be down to about the 42. For the Sun, looks like it'll take a bounce. Looks like a Philly bounce. Goes about 6 yards further for a 53-yard net. 8:24 to go in the 3rd quarter. The Sun trailed 24-7, but they've got 1st and 10, their own 36. Kenny Drake has got a decent running card. Defense is 3-4, good average, but Trevius Simmons ill-equipped to take care of that. Challenge at average defense. You might throw bombs against his 4 free safety, see what happens. It's a weird offense for the Sun. They did a nice job getting in the playoffs, I suppose. Well, that's Jerry Macklin. Even guesses wrong. 4 and a 4, but what's the defense's card? Picked off 2 to 5, 11 and 12. That's not what you want on the defense's card. Other things would have been nice. Picked up by the free safety, who is unable to gain yardage. That's Andre Hal 9000. That was a white die 6. So 8, 9, 11, and 12 are all going to be completions of 27 yards or more, but it was the 7. Jimmy throws the 2nd pick of the day. And Philly takes over at the road 46. Run Tam 38. I think that is Rick Byron. Rick is an excellent coach. He excels in this format. He's won multiple Southern Spread championships. You know, he's been playing Battle Royale this year. He always does well in order to win, overachieving at times. I would say usually, not even at times. So he likes this format. He knows this format. It's the traditional strat format, pre-dump off. Off tackle left, Alfred Morris. Defense gets his run. 2-yard gain. Morris is a very fine guess wrong card. Alvin Kamara and Alfred Morris with Kirk Cousins. It's a tough trio to deal with. The receivers aren't that great, but I know that Dave likes to throw the bomb with these guys. And boy, Jim going dime 3-2-6 on 2nd and 8. I disapprove of that message. You're going to see a draw play here for Alfred Morris. Was a very fine card and good blocking. Rick didn't even run the draw. Went straight off tackle. And 4 is a 6-yard game. I hope that was a misclick for Jim because I do not like it. I don't see how you go down. You're down 24-7. So the guy wants to run the ball. Morris has got a really good card. And a 2nd down and 8. I'm just giving him here, have 5 or more yards on this play. 3rd and 2 now as the Sun go back to their normal 4-3. 6-6, 4-4, 4-5, left to right. From left end to right end. Even though on our screen he's on top, so it's a little messed up. Wambach Alfred Morris gets his run. Dreaded 5 guess right is a -1. So Jim needed the call like that and a roll like that, and he got it. 4th and 3 for Philly, the punt. And Southern California's still in it, but they're going to do something quickly because it's a defensive rule set, and you're playing against a real good coach. And there's a weak punt, 35 yards. It was going out of bounds, so less than that. 22-yard coffin corner punt, and Jim will take over. But he's got to get going, and he's got to get going now. He's got Kenyon Drake, and I think another decent back. Do you recall the other back for the Sun, Michael?
I'm looking for him now.
I could be wrong about that, but I think there's a decent back in there. Went to overtime with that team. Aaron Wright, Kenyon Drake, defense guesses pass. A dreaded 5 guess wrong is -1. You can see that's not what Jim wants when you got 3 plus 31, 10 plus 20, 11 long gain. And even other numbers can get you a 4, 5, 7 yard something. But you want to stay away from those 9 bad units, even 12 bad units. So a bit of a chunky column.
So LeGarrette Blunt, actually.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, who has an excellent off tackle card. 2nd and 11 for Soko. Aaron right to Kenyon Drake. Offensive onside end +2 or -1. It's a 2-yard run. The veteran Jason Witten still with the 5 rating, his last card. And makes it a 3rd and 9.
They almost wound up with 2 running backs with over 1,000 yards. Blunt actually had 969, and Drake had over 1,400.
I think I recall that Drake was the lead back for this team. I think I like Blunt's card better, especially when your quarterback is not that great. Interesting call there by Jim, but the team did very well. They're 10-6 or so.
That's correct. They were tied with Oklahoma, but got in on the tiebreaker.
It was a rough result for Sean Riley. 10-6, and on a win, you don't make the playoffs. 3rd and 9 for Southern California. They're on 26. Big play here. They trailed 24-7. 3 wide, 1 halfback shotgun. So I think we'll see a pass here. Probably a short pass from Jim, playing it straight. Other guys might try to break containment and then maybe go for it on 4th and short because you're down 17 and it's late 3rd quarter. Short pass, Stefan Diggs. Defense double teaming elsewhere. Diggs trailed by 5. Jim needs something good. Maybe a receiver reading on the defense. Must run is 6 is 8 yards. Oh my goodness. Sets up a 4th down and 1 for the Sun at their own 34. Jim tends to play it straight up, Micah, but let's see what he does here because he's down 17, late 3rd quarter. Your season's over if you lose this game. And Jimmy's going to go for it here. Garrett Blunt checks in, the bigger back. Luke Stocker, the blocking back 5. All these 4s on the offensive line can't make you feel very encouraged about running the ball. And Philly might be excellent against the run. They are no good and average. As I came for that Dallas Grand Rapids game. I don't want to spoil the ending if anyone didn't listen. 4th down and 1. Will we see a looking pass here? How about looking past Jeremy Macklin? We'll take a right to Blunt. Defense gets a pass. 1 linebacker there. Dreaded 5. The only thing on the card that would not be a 1st down. The Strat gods are against you when you see a roll like that. That sucks. 88% chance to the 1st down. They're 8 to 9 on the offense's card. And then the defense did have a guy there. I don't know what he was against the run because he was 4 against the pass, but everything else literally was a 1st down. Tough call for a tough break there for Jim, and a real backbreaker because now, you're down 17. Rick's got the ball at your 34. Off tackle left to Alfred Morris. Defense gets his run. 8 yards on the defense. The kicker here for Philly is Brandon McManus. Only 2 7 and 12 out here. 2 9 and 12 if you get just a little closer. Another 4 or 5 yards. Now run Tam 38 is Jim. Byron's has his own thing in there. Very, very tough break for Jim there. Flat pass left, Hunter Henry. Defense guessing run. Receiver gets run 12 yards in a 1st down. And it just feels like unless there's a turnover, like the turn for a touchdown, you feel like this game is about to be clinched here by the Eagles. Flat pass right, Alvin Kamara. Picked off through the 4. Intercepted the flat pass. Could be run back for a touchdown. He's a 2, 3, 9, and 12. Could turn around the whole game here. 8 out of 36. And he does not get that, but he gets the interception by Chris McCain. Now it says here, answer advancement, no, but I've been told that that's a bug when we're spectating and watching the game. Of course, I'm sure the Jim tried to run back the flat pass interception. Probably got a 7, as it just said. And actually, this was a horrible bug because it was a touchdown. There were some spectator bugs. That was a flat pass interception, return for a touchdown. It's 2, 3, 9, and 12 on the defense. The animation didn't show it. The scroll results didn't show it, but the scoreboard shows it, and that's what matters. An 85-yard interception return for touchdown by Chris McCain. And it is now 24-13, not even showing up the box score. This is craziness with Strat-O-Matic here. But 87-yard interception return for touchdown. Extra point is good. I even just said the only thing that could save Jim was a turnover return for touchdown. He happened to get it. It was a 2 to 4 and 12 pickoff on the flat pass right, and he's back in business. Jim needs a minute. He has to check. Maybe needs the heart medication. He has to check the EKG. Maybe get a sedative. That was exciting.
Maybe a Zedigive.
That's right. And it's unfortunate that when we're spectating these games, and I should exit on the kickoff, that we are watching these games, there are these bugs. And one of them is that it shows the interceptions not being returned, even though guys are trying to return them. And that one, he didn't not only tried to return, he ran it back for a touchdown. And that's not what we were seeing in the scroll results. So that's another bug to send to the good people at Strat. The kickoff bug we'll know about, which they're not going to fix until the next version, which is only 6.5 months away, give or take. Did you read Mark Lepage's not Somifa? Did you read Mark Lepage's Strat football preview, Michael Reeves?
I did not.
You know, I actually just realized I did look at the preview, but I did not look and see what Shaq Barrett's rating was, Michael.
Oh, did he do the whole league? He did I didn't know he did that already.
All right, we got the kickoff, and so I automatically just exit on the kickoff and then go back in because it's faster, I find, than if we linger and you get that crash, the hourglass clash. This one, I exit, I come back in, and worst comes to worst, I miss a kickoff return for touchdown, but that's not very common. And as you see, instead, I get 1st and 10. Flat pass right, Alvin Kamara, defender Rex +1 and +3, 3-yard gain. So interesting now here for Rick. And I'm not even showing animation, Michael. What is going on here?
Well, this has just been very buggy. I'm sure that you saw the Dallas Grand Rapids game, and
I did not see that game. I was stumbling my way into a victory, actually, in a different league. Looking past Alvin Kamara, defense against us run 9 yards and a 1st down. So hard to play defense. You had like Kirk Cousins, Alvin Kamara, and the other back is pretty decent, and you're down by 10, last minute of the 3rd quarter, and you're desperate for a stop. And, that run flat pass game is just very tough in these situations. 3 TDs, 1 interception now for Cousins, who has not been playing well since I came on, was playing great before then. Off tackle left to Kamara. 7 is a 4-yard gain. A lot of people disappointed in that card when it came out. It's played pretty well, though, in these draft leagues. 2nd and 6 now for the Eagles. They're at their own 43. Might be the last play of the quarter if it's a run. 10 carries, 67 yards for Kamara. Blocking back, 1 halfback. Everyone out there can catch, which is what you want. Most of these blocking backs are lousy, but Juszczyk's a pretty good receiver. Looking past Kamara, there's a 4 there. Juszczyk double teamed. Box scores and Cousins is incomplete on the look-in. Would have been -1 flat. And that was the last play of the 3rd quarter. We start the 4th quarter. 24-14 Eagles. They have the ball at their own 43. They were up 24-0 before the Hail Mary at halftime to Stephon Diggs. And the pick 6 a few minutes ago. The Southern California team is not really sure. Alvin Kamara, successful double team with no double. This should be a real killer. And 9 is incomplete. This is a no dump off league, kind of the standard straight up old school strat, except they do play the white die 6. 4th down and 6 for the Eagles. They're going to punt it. This is not a great offensive team, but get one good drive. 48-yard punt is down to about the 10. Make it the 9, probably. Brandon Tate there. The way this game has gone, he'll probably fumble. But no, he returns at 8 yards. 7, 8, 12 gives 8, 9, and 4. And the Sun have got first and 10 at their own 17. First minute of the fourth quarter in this divisional playoff game as they try to come all the way back from 24-0. It's now 24-14. I'm curious why Jim likes Kenyon Drake better than Blunt. Blunt generally had an excellent card in this set. He likes the end run. He can run behind the blocking back and the tight end. That's probably part of it. Looking past to Jason Witten. The defense gets the pass. Defender X incomplete. Would have been a loss of yards anyway. So, I mean, with Blocker as a blocker man, Stocker as a blocker man 5, Witten as a tight end 5, you're getting much better blocking the end run than you're getting on the inside if you're trying to run with Blunt. That's probably part of it with Jim. Sure bet Jason Witten, defense double teaming elsewhere. Witten covered by a 5. 6 is 11 yards on the first down on Clever Trevor's card. He's got 10 units of short pass right complete, which is not very good. He does have 5 units of must run with a lot of yards there, so that's not too bad. He's 8 of 21 for $110, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Old school Strat numbers. And we're right, Kenyon Drake, defense gets his pass, and 7's a 4-yard gain. Drake now 9 carries, 29 yards. We must have a fair amount of carries left. 6 more unfatigued. Not as many as I thought. And on that note, Blunt checks in on 2nd down and 6, which makes sense. 4 free safety and 4 left corner. We'll take a right to Blunt. Defense gets the pass. The linebacker there. There's a short gain in Garrett Blunt. It's a very nice column. 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. I mean, a lot of good stuff to enjoy there. And it's a 1st down and 10. His best run of the game, as even with that short gain, he's got 4 carries for 12 yards. Maybe he was down in a short yardage situation previously. I don't know. But the Sun are up near midfield. They're at their own 46. And we're right to Drake. Defense gets the pass. 11 long handed Drake's card. 3, he could go all the way. Touchdown. Kenyon Drake. Jim was trying to hit those big numbers. He's been running the end run with Drake. That's why I want Drake in there, Tom, he says to me through the internet, if he was listening, which he's not. And 3 is a 67-yard gain. It's a touchdown for the Sun, a 54-yard run. And Dennis Crowley leaves and the game picks up. Dennis needs to get back here. He's going to miss this. But he's watching the tick, 2 episodes. Will Lutz for the extra point. It's up and good. 24-21 with plenty of time remaining. That's what you want, is to hit a big play like that. Kenyon Drake, 54-yard TD run. And if Dave is in Guam, he's not feeling too well. He's going to have the Guam flu in a minute. And imagine the pressure that Rick Barons feels. He's coaching for his friend, his longtime friend Dave, who has a very good team, had a very good season. What was Dave's record? He had to be at least 12-4, right, Michael?
14-2.
14-2. You're up 24-0. And now all of a sudden you're only up by a field goal 12 minutes ago. You have pressure at your own team. Yeah, you're coaching for someone else. Yeah, I know Rick's a great guy. He's like, oh my God, I don't lose this game for Dave. Oh, Jesus. Well, let's see what happens here. Walking back with a halfback, Cameron Cousins. Rick's been in a million big games. He's calm, he's got ice water in the veins. He knows what he's doing. He's not going to freeze up, that's for sure. Short pass to J.J. Nelson. Defense gets the pass. And you have a sack fumble or a snap fumble. Looks like a possible snap fumble. I'm not sure here. Let's see what happens after the animation. We got a snap fumble for Kirk Cousins, 1 to 8, 1 to 7.8. Lorenzo Alexander recovered it. The Sun have got the ball at the Philly 25. The second huge turnover of the half. Oh my, Jim Riley types in from his luscious confines on the West Coast.
Something about stars and garters?
Indeed. Oh my stars and garters. Kenyon Drake back in there. Why not? The hero of about 30 seconds ago. Blocking back 1 halfback. Jim, you want to think touchdown here, but Trevor Siemian throws picks, so you got to be careful. Let's see what. Off tackle left to Drake. Defense gets the pass. Nobody there. Offensive onside tackle 7 or 2. John Wetzel, the 4, makes a block. A lot of these good order win teams don't always have the best run blocking because they're investing their assets on defense because it's double counting and, of course, making sure they have a good quarterback and running back. So it's not uncommon to see some weak run blocking deep in the order win playoffs, which makes sense. 2nd and 3 for the Sun. At the Philly 18. These men have been playing for 40, 50 years. Flat pass left, Stephon Diggs, run call. by the defense. Picked off 2 to 5. Oh my goodness. Intercepted. Guess wrong. It's 2 to 5. Oh, I mentioned that Simeon has the picks on the card. You don't want to be too one-dimensional. Look at guess wrong. 2 to 5. That's terrible. But he didn't want to be too one-dimensional. He had the wrong call, so he, Strat-O-Matic give it and Strat-O-Matic take it away, Jim types in. And they certainly took it away that one. Akeem Hicks with a deflection on the defensive line and tipping it up there and catching it, running it back about 18 yards, it looks like. And again, the scroll result is telling us that it was not advanced, so that's a bug. And what a turnaround. The Eagles have it back again, 24-21 in a wild second half in Philadelphia. 3 picks for Simeon. This just in, he's not good, but he's out there. Looking past the Kyle Juszczyk. Defense gets the pass. And Michael, you have to feel like we're just waiting for the next big turnover. I'm waiting for a sack fumble. We know we're gonna get a wide receiver fumble. Rick's gonna get about another first down and get a wide receiver fumble about the 38-yard line, and Jim will have it. Blocking back 1 halfback, second and 5, only 10-12 to go now. The clock is a factor. So looking past the command, defense gets the pass, brings the 5 safety up, 2-yard gain, sets up a big 3rd and 3 for the Eagles at their own 43. The 0-4-0 linebackers for the Southern California Sun against the pass. Very inviting for Mr. Cousins, especially the white die 6 in play. The safety is almost certainly going to come up here. Rick's enjoyed running at that 4 defensive right tackle. Why wouldn't you when you have a 6'5" and Kyle Juszczyk as the blocking back on the left side? Command not that good guess right. I think we'll see him off tackle left, though. I think we'll see it. Well, Jim looks like he's been calling a fair amount of runs, so maybe you'll see the flat pass. Flat pass right to Alvin Kamara. There's a run call. 7 is complete for 8 yards and a first down. Right and wrong, that was a first down and double team. So there's literally nothing that Jim could have done there. And that first down means we only have 9 minutes remaining. Eagles leading by 3 in the 4th quarter. Rick is not conservative offensively. He's not going to sit there and say, I'm leading by 3. I'll just, be very careful. Now, he's not been throwing downfield much more because of the matchup than because of any offensive philosophy. Cousins is great to flats. There's no dump off. There it is. Long pass to Will Fuller. And on the defensive card, no one there. 11 long gain. Touchdown, Will Fuller. Rick is not going to sit back. He's an aggressive offensive coach. He runs the ball a lot and throws a lot of bombs, and it works pretty good. And he gets the 11 clean long gain on the defense. That was a white die 6, which would have beaten the defender anyway. And not only are we getting long gains, we're getting 2 to 4s and 10 to 12s, which means a lot of yards there on the long gain chart. And I think that auto win does play home field advantage, which gives you the better long gain chart. That's the only home field advantage in the league. Oh, no, we're going to get kicked out. Can I do it? Yes, I made it in time. So that touchdown plus the extra point made it 31-21 in favor of the Eagles as I intentionally leave the game in protest.
It's fun to watch this team being coached by another, in that you and I both played this team twice this year because Philadelphia's in our division. And I just remember Smolinski wasn't nearly as aggressive in the 2 games that I'm seeing here. Lots more shots down the field.
Well, yeah, when you get a different coach, obviously it's going to be a totally different style depending on the coach. I mean, they're all coaches with similar style, but certainly Rick and Dave have different styles. Dave was throwing quite a bit of bombs against me. Of course, I'm very poor against the pass with zeros galore. So why wouldn't you really could call whatever play you wanted against my team? Is dealer's choice there. But yes, but I think that Rick certainly will throw more bombs normally. And that was guessed correctly, but it was no man in zone and a white die 6. So now Jim is up against it. First and 10 is 25. Kenyon Drake is fatigued, but he's still out there. And he gains, that'll be nerfed down to 4. No, gains 5 yards. He's on fatigue level 1. No, he's not. That was bad graphics. That was weird. He's still got 3 carries left. 2nd and 5, 8:06 to go. Jim down by 10. Needs a touchdown and a field goal. The order doesn't matter. I don't know how good his kicker is, but yeah, the field goal has to be made. If he misses it, the game is basically over. Linebacker guy blocked Rick with a key run call. Only a 1-2 game. That's a sign of good coaching. Rick, it would be only 3 yards anyway, but you're up by 10 points, 8 minutes to go. A lot of guys, I'm not going to just run here. I don't get burned deep. Rick says, no, I think he's going to run with blunt. So he called run. Good call there. 3rd and 4, 7.5 minutes to go. Desperation drive here for Southern California. Long pass Stefan Diggs, but correctly double teamed by Rick. These guys have been playing each other for 50 years virtually. And I don't know what's correct, what's complete on Trevor Simeon's double team column. It turns out it was 212, but you might have needed 84 Marino, and even then, I don't know, long past 7, if that would have been complete. I think it is on 84 Marino, but I'm not certain. And the good call, Rick, comes into play in the texting, the chatting. Simeon 8 of 23. And Jim's going to go for it. 7:12 to go, 4th and 4, zone 31 against an offense tough to stop. I don't have a problem with this call. 3 wide, I'm not a fan of that. 3 wide, 1 halfback, nickel 3-3-5. Unless he's dying to throw this flat pass to who? Maybe Kenyon Drake. Flat pass right to Jeremy Macklin, covered by 4. Linebackers a 5. White dice 6 gives him 9 yards and a first down.
Mhm.
On the 5 roll, that would have been linebacker zone +1 and +6. And that guy was a 5, but the white dice 6 meant no minute zone. So good call and good roll there for Jim. And he's up to his own 40, 6:36 to go. And we're left Kenny Drake. Time for another big run. 7 is 4 yards. Drake's got 13 carries for 98 yards. Drake, the running back, not the musician.
Mm-mm.
Second down is 6. Soko at their own 44.
Played in this year. He had 218 on me. Drake did in a game.
Oh my!
Yep.
Yeah, I think he had a big run against me probably. 2nd and 6. Southern California, their own 44. 13 carries, 98 yards for Drake. Blunt's in there now. Off tackle right to Blunt. Rick again calling the run on the 2nd and 5 or 6. And Jim likes to run the ball. But you're running into a guest right call there twice in a row. 3rd and 5. 5:24 to go. Now he goes 3 wide. The element of the potential for a run here is pretty much non-existent. I don't know if I like that, although I think that Dave's linebackers are actually good two-way. Looking past Jason Witten, there's a safety 5 there. 12 is incomplete on Simeon's card, and Jim will probably have to go for it again here. 4th and 5 now at his own 45. Simeon completing barely a third of his passes, 9 of 25. 36% is what they tell us at home, even without Dennis's calculator. Think we'll see another flat pass here. 3 wide, 1 halfback, no shotgun. Pretending like he might run it. He's not running it. If he runs it, he can run it and run it at 0 maybe, but 1, 2, 3 is not going to get the job done, which show only 6 run rating. Philly deciding what to do here. Flat pass left to Kenny Drake. Even double teams elsewhere. He's throwing at the 5. Needs another completion. Receiver gets right. 10 is 4 yards, just short of the first down. Questionable spot by the referee. And Rick Byron's coaching Dave Saminsky's team, 14-2 in the regular season, have weathered the storm. They were cruising 24-0. All of a sudden, Stefan Diggs, Hail Mary, 24-7 right before the half. And late 3rd quarter, they're cruising again because they stopped Southern Cal in a 4th and 1, dreaded 5, guess wrong. But then a flat pass interception return for a touchdown, 87 yards. Suddenly it was 24-14, and then 24-21 minutes later when Kenyon Drake took a pitch out about 50-something yards for a touchdown. But Philly came back, got a touchdown on their own, 31-21. Forced Southern California to turn the ball over on downs around midfield. And now with 4:12 to go, they'll probably just run out the clock. I don't think Rick should probably not get too aggressive here, but Rick will do what he wants to do. He doesn't worry too much about the negative side of things. He just says, I'm just going to kind of play my game. That's how you win a Super Bowl with 1980 Vince Ferragamo. Still should have taken Gary Danielson. You would have won by more, Rick Gary Danielson. You wanted to sweat out that playoff game against me. 1st and 10 for Philly At the Southern California 33, 3:36 to go. Cousins 29 of 40, 299 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. That's an excellent game in a non-dump-off league. It's a pretty good game anywhere. Looking at Henry against a run call. 6 of the white dice, 20 yards. As Philly looking to tackle on a little more. Add insult to injury. Very disheartening when you're in the playoffs and you had a chance and you were scrappy and you were fighting, and now you're sitting here, minutes left, and you're defending your own end zone. You're already down by 10. We've all been there. It doesn't feel good. I'm going to stay away from the flat pass. No, flat pass right home, Henry. Just throwing 9 yards. You already had the flat pass interception for a touchdown about a quarter ago in this neighborhood. No flat pass now. All right, that's about the 4-yard line. 2:24 to go. 2nd and 1 from the 4. So he can even get a first down without a touchdown. Cousins goes to 328 on the yardage. Linebacker Kirk Cousins, defense guesses run. 7 is 1 yard. Quarterback sneak. That'll bring us to the 2-minute warning, or maybe to 2:06. Jim does call the timeout, 2:06. That's the right call. 1st and goal from the 3. It is already down by 10, so you can't even go nickel and call a pass and try to concede a touchdown and maybe get a touchdown and an onside kick, because you'll be down by 3 scores here. If that goes out for more, successfully keyed as a loss of 1. Pushes Rick back to the 4 as we hit the 2-minute warning. Would have been a 2-yard gain without the key. 12 for 37 for Morris. Full house backfield, 2nd and goal from the 4. Rick's probably going to run it here twice in a row, but I don't know. Wouldn't pay anything past it. The short pass, as I say that, short pass, Alvin Kamara, 12 for a touchdown. That's one of the things that makes you a good coach. A lot of people tell it's a bad call you're throwing there. But Rick says, I'm not going to be predictable. I'm going to do anything at any time. And that's one of the keys to being successful for him. And also he knows, I think, Jim and he should know each other's tendencies somewhat. So maybe he was confident in a run call there. But a 4-yard touchdown pass from Cousins to Kamara. Extra point is good. 38-21. Dave Savinsky can breathe a sigh of relief from the island of Guam. He's checking the missile defenses in case Kim Jong-un gets a little rambunctious. Is that the dictator's name, Michael? Is it Kim Jong-un?
That would be the one.
You may recall he was threatening Guam about a year and a half ago. But I think that he may have received a nasty tweet in reply, so they worked it all out now. Now they write each other letters. Very nice. Why do I still not feel too comfortable? Oh, Rick, don't be silly, sir. I think you're pretty safe now. And the Strat gods bless us that I wasn't even paying attention. Another kickoff inbounds. So we were not unceremoniously dumped out of the game. So 1:37 to go. So turn it down 17. This one's pretty much over. So who will Rick be playing next round, Michael? Who's alive in this conference? This is which conference? This is not Dennis Crowley's conference. This is the other conference. So I think it's going to be Philly Dallas. Is that right?
That would be correct. That's exactly right. No, it'll be right. Philly Dallas. That's correct. That's right. And then we'll wait for Los Angeles who plays this weekend.
And that's on the other side.
That's right.
And who are they playing against?
That is Los Angeles and Houston. And they'll take on St. Louis, who beat the 2-time defending champion Seattle Seahawks.
L.A., is that Gary Nagata?
That would be the Nagata.
Nagata believe.
Don't you, though?
That'll be an interesting one. Nathan trying to return to the Super Bowl. Well, first he's got to get to the conference championship game. That's right. Oh, no. All right. No, Nathan is Houston. Is that a conference title game? So LA already played.
Yeah, hold on a second. Let me make sure I just said that right. Who knows? All right, let's get this right.
Technical difficulty.
Houston defeated. It's my bad. Houston beat Seattle 19-13, and they'll take on the winner of San Diego or Los Angeles, if you will, and St. Louis Rams. That's
And
Sunday.
that'll be for the conference.
That's right. That's Sunday at noon.
Final. LA St. Louis. LA Chargers or LA Rams?
LA
You're the LA
Chargers.
Rams.
That's right.
So it's all right. So
Paul.
it's half man, half Mankiewicz against Gary Nagata Believe.
That's right.
There we go.
And that was Nathan Baylor, who called a great game against Dennis.
Yes. It's a long pass fest.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of long passing in that game. So, but yeah, Nathan won that one. You called that one, Michael, I believe.
I did, and the Dallas game that just took place here just a little bit ago, and talk about squirrely animation in that one. That one was very bizarre. There was a game freeze at the end, and I didn't want to say it to anybody because I didn't know who noticed, but basically the game was tied at 13 with a little bit over a minute to go. Dallas had it deep in their own territory, 2nd and 21 at their own 13. And what we saw was a guess wrong 2 off tackle run for DeMarco Murray that would have gotten him 75 yards. And the game freezes. And so you're like waiting for the results, waiting. Maybe they're celebrating or dancing, who knows? But after a while, you realize, wait a minute, this is a game freeze. So now you lock out of this. But I'm texting with LePage, and I'm like, so what happened? Are you guys locked out? Said, yeah, locked out. We're busted out of this game. We'll be back in a second. They give me the game ID, but I'm afraid to ask the follow-up, hey, what happened on that 75-yard run? I didn't want to tell him because I didn't know what he saw. He said, yeah, it was a 6-yard run. And everybody on the broadcast, including Dennis, was freaking out because we saw it was a 75-yard run. So when we rejoin it, not only is it not 75, not only is it 6, nothing happened. Basically, they were still stuck at 2nd and 21. It made no sense at all. So I mean, he's going to see that, and I thought, golly, to get cost a 75-yard. But again, that may have been an animation glitch. It may have not been really truly what happened. But of course, good grief, he just flipped the field. He would have won the game without having to go to overtime with that run. So there's some squirrely stuff happening here. Very squirrely. There was another one that actually Dennis told me about. Oh, go ahead.
Hopefully, try and get that taken care of for next version. But go ahead, Michael.
I hope so too. There was another one that Dennis had actually seen. He'd called another game in another league where there was a punt that went inside of the 5, and for whatever reason, Grand Rapids is going to return the punt. I'm thinking, what are you doing? And next thing you know, the ball's at the 20. I thought, well, did he return to the 20? No, the ball actually bounced into the end zone, but the animation made it look like he had actually tried to pick up the ball and one, take off with it. There also was a freeze. The freeze bug, we seem to think that the freeze bug seems to happen when it's 9 yards deep. If it's 3 yards deep, it doesn't seem to happen. But I saw a punt freeze that went into the end zone tonight too. So it's just,
I'm interested. You saw the 75-yard run in DeMarco Murray, which is on end run 2. Guessed right, it's only 6 yards. So maybe for some reason you guys would see the guess wrong, but in actuality it was guessed right, possibly.
That's what Dennis said. But the crazy part was when we came back to it, neither of the plays happened. It was still 2nd and 21.
Which does happen. So we have a final 38-21. The Eagles hold on. They were 24-0, and it was 24-21 early fourth quarter. And then all Eagles from there. Excellent game. Congratulations to Rick and Dave. And Jim had a very good year and was at a very competitive playoff game. And hopefully he'll be back next year in the postseason. And Dave's on to Dallas. So it's Philly and Dallas in the AFC, I guess. Well, whatever, in this league. Philly and Dallas in one conference championship. Used to waiting for the winner of Chargers Rams in the other side. Dennis Crowley out. We'll have a new champion this year, as you said. I need to go, Michael. I was pretty tired and wasn't really planning on calling it. But it's always good chatting with you.
Always good chatting with you, too. Thanks so much for doing this. I appreciate it. We'll see you soon.
See you soon. Later, Michael. Bye-bye.
All right, buddy. Bye-bye.
It looks like the broadcast is over.